Hey, this is Web Suspect, and I just wanted to do a video asking people to be patient with President Trump. I know it sounds kind of silly, but he's busy getting his cabinet set up with Obama and Clinton or Bush Jr. They pretty much, when they got in office, played um, golf for their first 100 days and went to Camp David. I wasn't really sure what kind of president Trump would be, honestly, but he's been working very hard every day, having prayer meetings and meetings with corporations to try to figure out how to create more jobs. So, as far as his campaign promises, he's keeping his campaign promises, which I didn't think he would after Iowa, because he said that he was going to reverse his decision on H-1B visas, which kind of disappointed me for Silicon Valley. But now he's kind of leaning in the direction of he's going to uphold his original statements about H-1B visas, and so I don't know how he's going to take care of that. But in some cases, he's been talking to his staff about executive orders so that he can legally pass executive orders to um, keep some of his promises, and even if they're not laws, they set out the direction of his cabinet. But as far as the quote unquote refugee ban and all that, there was at least 7 times in the past where presidents blocked refugees, and so there's their executive order. So there's a precedence for that. And like I said, well, with Clinton, when he was in office, he had 300 employees or more that failed their background test. It was or a check. It was 329 employees under the Clinton administration failed his background check. Right now, he's going through the motions of to work for the White House. You need what's called a Yankee white clearance. It's the highest top secret clearance you can get. So he's going through the process of making sure that everybody they get in the White House gets a background check. That means having Secret Service follow people around, make sure that they aren't buying drugs or something like that, and check in their clearance and make sure their clearance is in order so they can go work for the White House. And he's very anxious. I think he wants to have all his cabinet filled within 90 to 100 days. He started making appointments already for the Supreme Court and the Secretary of the War Department, and some of his nominations have been blocked. So, like, one of my friends on my friends list, he's concerned about how the care that veterans are getting, and in order to make any change in any department, they have what's called czars, or deputy marshals, that kind of sit as appointees over the office, and they kind of direct the office. So, like, for instance, with the um, FBI and the Secret Service, there were cases where people were uh, ex- taking prostitutes from Mexican drug cartels, and they didn't get fired. So then Congressman Trey Gowdy, they had to have a congressional oversight committee find out why people were doing these things, and they didn't get fired. So it's a big task, and people are just very angry right now. And Alex Jones is on his radio show screaming. He doesn't have Alex Jones doesn't have a lot of really good writers at Infowars, so he tends to just scream. And people seem very much to the right or the left. I know people probably are anxious for things to change because, like, in the inner cities, things didn't change much in the last 8 years. Um, Ben Carson, who was running for president, he's going to be the deputy marshal or the head of HUD, or Housing and Urban Development, and try to figure out how to fix some of the issues with the cities. And it's a big task. It's about 3,000 people work at the White House War Department and various other appointments at the White House. These are people that have to get along working with other people, and it might be